Man, good afternoon. Really excited to be here. Excited about this football game, but excited to be in this beautiful place. We just got here this morning, getting acclimated, doing some best practices things with the football team in terms of transitioning to this time frame and getting ourselves ready to play. A big component of that is the work that we have in front of us this afternoon. We work this afternoon about 1:30 this time. And we'll do some more work tomorrow, but really just excited about being here, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys might have.
Coach, Dara here from Bulls.ie. Will the players be allowed to let their hair down and enjoy a night out in Dublin after the game, or will the aftermath be treated like any other fixture?
After the game, business as usual. Before the game, not so much, but after the game, certainly, business as usual.
Chris Alec with DK Christopher Sports. How do you get a general feeling for how the team rested or got any kind of sleep on the flight over? And do you feel like that it's what you at least wanted?
I feel really comfortable where we are right now in terms of acclimating ourselves. We had a meeting at the top of the week. It was more than just acclimating ourselves yesterday and today. We started the process at the top of the week, man, so it wouldn't be as dramatic. We started our day Wednesday and Thursday about 90 minutes early, encouraged everyone to get up early, and that was a component of it. And then also, on the other end, go to bed early. We thought it positioned ourselves, man, to get some rest through the flight over the night, and hopefully we were able to stay on our feet all day today and complete the process of acclimating.
Mike, it's been, 12 years since you've done the international game. Did you learn anything from that first one in regards to what you learned?
I don't know that I have as an individual, but I just think there's been so many organizations that have played internationally since then, and just in informal and formal conversations, I think that we all in the National Football League have a better understanding of the acclimation process, best practices in terms of managing the travel, the differences in the venues and so forth. And so I think it's certainly less mystical today than it was 12 years ago, the last time we did.
Mike, how are you personally acclimating? Did you sleep on the plane at all on the way over here?
I did, but I always sleep on the plane.
Make sure you say your name and outlet before you speak.
Coach, Freddie Hall from the Franchise Tag Podcast. You've played Vikings 4 times in your career, 2-2. You were the defensive coordinator there before you joined the Steelers. Last time you played an international game was against the Vikings in London. History runs deep with them. So do you know how to beat them? Do you know what it's like in that organisation, their philosophies, and also the relationships that you have there?
To be honest with you, I've been in Pittsburgh so long now, there's probably very little the same in that organization, meaning the Vikings. I know it's very few people that are still in that organization that was there when I was there. And so I'm just viewing it from the perspective that it's another game, somebody that we are less familiar with. It's not about me, it's about us. They're an NFC North team. We don't see those guys a lot. And so certainly we've been preparing with urgency in an effort to get to know them better and how these two teams might come together. But I never allow it to be about me or my personal experience. It's about the Steelers.
Mike, John from Philadelphia here. We've seen some struggle lately in terms of third down defense. This is something that you have actually pointed out in the latest press conference. So how is the team evolving into trying to fix that problem in the near future? And is that more like a mental thing? Is it more like a tactical thing? How do you guys prepare for that?
It's both. It's all of the above. It's a mental thing. It's physical work required. We've had some really good days. We still got 2 more days in front of us in terms of positioning ourselves to address that issue and others. And so we're excited about it. I think particularly at the early stages of the season, there are going to be questions. There are going to be developmental things for individuals and for collectives. And so, not only are we excited about having an opportunity to play the Vikings and play another football game, but we just understand the growth that we're all going to experience individually and collectively every time we step into an arena this time of year.
Coach Tomlin, Andy Davis across the pond. I want to ask about Jalen Ramsey. Speaking of defence, first 3 games, week 1, games he play, week 2, interception. Someone who's thriving his career off one-on-one matchups with top receivers. How are you relishing his battle with the likes of Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, and everyone else on that offense?
Great question. We got a lot of confidence in Jalen. not only his playmaking ability and his competes, but his versatility. We have enough schematic versatility, and he does as a player, that we can match him up in a variety of circumstances. We can position him to defend TJ. We can position him to defend Justin, and I'm sure you will see all of the above. Because it not only requires good players to minimize good players, but it requires good schematics, and he's certainly a component of that for us defensively.
Mike Garrett, Anthony Arshmere. Between the Roomies links to Ireland and maybe a history Croke Park class, I'm just wondering, with the players, do you tap into that, or do you strip it down and make it a normal game week?
It's certainly an opportunity for me to educate the Steelers about the late, great Ambassador Rooney and his passion for this place and his vision for this game, and we've done some of that. But largely, the work we do here is business as usual.
Mike, Jerry Dulac from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi there, Mike. You haven't been getting a lot of offensive plays. How does that affect the continuity that you're seeking maybe throughout when you're not getting as many plays?
You know, we have an opportunity to do something about that. You know, it's a collective thing. Certainly, we got to win enough possession downs on offense and stay on the field. And we got to win enough possession downs on defense to get off the field. And so, you know, I don't view it as a unit thing. I view it as a team thing. I view it as a, you know, controlling the game type of a thing. And time of possession is a component of that. And so we've certainly been working to improve in the areas that have limited that. But it's more than just a unit discussion. It's a collective discussion. You know, along those lines, you know, we feel like Calvin Austin's a dynamic punt returner. Hadn't got enough punt returns. Part of it is bad because we're not winning enough third downs. Part of it is good because we're taking the ball away from people in terms of the turnover game. And so I think all of those, you know, singular questions get answered the more ball you play. We're at the early stages of the season, and some of that stuff can be somewhat speculative. I think for us and for everyone, the more you step into a stadium, I think the more personality and some of those things get answered.
Like Judy Batista from the NFL Network, maybe related to that, but how do you get the downfield passing game going?
You know, we take it when we can get it. I think that's, you know, the number one thing, man. If defensive posture is such that they want to prevent that, you oftentimes take what the defense gives you. One thing you're not going to do is be loose with the ball in an effort to produce those things. We're going to stay within our personality. We're certainly going to look for opportunities to get plays down the field, but that's not the only way to skin the cat. And again, like at that question, the more you step in the stadiums, those things are going to reveal themselves, certainly.
Coach, Jack Esley here in University Times. What's it like having a veteran quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, who's been around for a very long time, to kind of lead your team in a neutral site environment where I'm sure a lot of the guys have not experienced yet in their careers?
You know, just on a personal level, man, it's fun to work with Aaron. I like to work with a guy that has a relationship with the game that he has. He loves to work. He loves football. He loves all the things that come with it. And day to day, just in terms of those things, it makes it a fun experience to learn and grow together, to compete. You know, he's fully engaged in all of those things. And so it's been a good experience.
Mike, Brooke Pryor, ESPN. What kind of quality of work have you seen from Deshaun Elliott and Joey Porter Jr. this week as they kind of work their way back from injury?
Partial participation.
Mike?
For those of you unfamiliar, man, I don't disclose a whole bunch of injury information. only what's required, and to this point, partial participation.
Brian Macho, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. How does Derek Harmon's return change or shape how you guys can use some of the other guys on that line, like YA, Keanu, where you put them?
It certainly means less snaps just on the surface level for those guys, but the strength of the pack is the pack, and we're certainly glad to have Derek back. I think it was a really good week a week ago. Just a number of snaps that he was able to play from a conditioning perspective, and the amount of production he was able to give us all are encouraging, and so we'll see where it leads us this week, certainly.
Coach, Jimmy English, Daily Gridiron. Coach, you've been part now of 2 international games with the Pittsburgh Steelers back 2013 in London and now this year. What are your thoughts on the NFL's efforts to grow the game of American football internationally?
You know, I don't necessarily have an opinion on the collective's mindset regarding the international play. I know as an individual, it's an honor to represent American football on the international stage, and it's something that I don't take for granted. It's an honor to be a component of.
Mike McFair about Penn Live. You guys right now, I think, second highest blitz rate in the NFL. Pretty big stark switch from last year. What about this group's personnel and personality fits that attacking kind of blitzing model on defense?
Again, like a lot of these discussions, this is a 3-week body of work, and some statistics can be misleading, some things can be opponent specific, and so I don't know that that's going to represent us in totality, but we'll see.
Mike, Gordon Manning, Bears Times. Will you guys visit the stadium before Sunday?
We will not, no.
Is that a concern? Would that be, no?
Not at all. As long as the field's 100 yards and, and all of that stuff, and the conditions are the same for both teams, we care very little about that.
Coach Tomlin, Freddie from the Franchise Tag Podcast. Najee Harris, who you drafted, went down with a really awful injury last weekend. Have you sent him any texts of encouragement or phoned him to wish him well?
We've certainly been in contact, but I'll leave that communication between us.
Coach Ken McGuire from Associated Press. What are your thoughts about the new kickoff system, and do you feel like has the strategy evolved on that, or is that our team still trying to figure out?
As a member of the competition committee, I think the new kickoff is getting done exactly what we intended it to get done. Even the latest alternate changes in terms of spotting the ball on the 35-yard line, and so I think it's doing exactly what we intended it to do. Is putting some excitement back in the game. It's adding some quality plays to the game. In terms of us having an understanding of the concept, or the field having an understanding of the concept, I think that we're all learning and growing regarding best practices schematically. How to strategize, things to do, how to position players. Some of the size of the players in certain positions have changed, and so we're all absorbing a lot of tape, and we're all learning and growing as we go in this thing in terms of the best way to position ourselves to take advantage of the new opportunities in the play.
Mike McFair about Penn Live. We've on the kickoff, we've seen, I think, the Rams and the Panthers now kind of utilizing the kickers to kind of knuckleball these balls, and that's been a kind of growing thing, the actual kicking of the ball. For you guys, how much is that kind of changing the strategy, teaching returners like different bounces and different trajectories coming in now?
That's certainly a component of it for us and has been.
Coach, Gonzalo Garcia from Spanish Bowl and National Football. After week 2, when Caleb had the mistake, last week he has no snaps. It's still the same for the coming week?
We'll see. Sometimes when you have mistakes, you got to take a step back. But I've been really pleased with his approach to business and work. It's more about the day-to-day for a young player. And so I think he's positioned himself to be a contributor this week, but it's certainly those decisions don't happen in a vacuum. It's about some of the talents and how we choose to divide the labor up regarding the others relative to the opponent. But he certainly won't be back there on kickoff returns.
Mike, Chris Halleck with DK for Sports. I know that, like, in preparing for an opponent, you're not afraid to take advice or anything else from any player or anything like that. Can you also look back at potentially like a matchup last year whenever Aaron Rodgers went up against Brian Flores and this Vikings defense last year in London, and especially with the way that they attacked him?
And I also look at Flores versus Arthur Smith in 2023 against Atlanta. I just think that's standard protocol in preparation for a game. When you got a history there of significant matchups, whether it's coordinator versus coordinator or coordinator versus quarterback, it's just a component of the preparation. I don't want to make it more than what it is.
Guys, two more.
Judy Batista, how do you get DK Metcalf maybe going and more involved in the offense, and how much of a priority is that going forward?
I'm not displeased with his level of involvement. I think he scored a touchdown in the last 2 weeks. I think the larger discussion is the total number of snaps or opportunities we have. We were talking about it over there with Jerry. I think that is the discussion. He is a major component of what we do and has been. We just simply need more snaps, and I think that'll reveal itself, the question that I think you're leading to.
Last one here.
Yeah, John Hayes, Leach People. Against the Patriots, you started well, you finished well. How concerned were you with your quarter 2, quarter 3 performance?
I'm concerned about a lot of things, man, but I don't lose a lot of sleep over it. The ball keeps rolling. That was a game. You learn, you prep, you step into the arena and you do it again. I'm excited about doing it here in Dublin this week versus the Vikings.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.